everyone. This is Ciara here. I'm going to say hello. Hey. I'm the MCVP oGV of ISEC in Costa Rica. So we're going to start the chat. So we're going to wait a bit to see if someone else will come. And if not, in 2 minutes maximum, we're going to start. Okay. Anyways, this is going to be recorded, so you will have it after. Well, we're going to start the chat. So it's going to be in English for everyone that wants to apply from all over the world to the MC 1819 for ISEC in Costa Rica. So first of all, wait a second. Yeah, no, sorry. I had some echo. So first of all, I want to say this is going to be in English. So first, well, welcome everyone. For those that are going to watch this video and those that maybe are right now connected. So, well, I'm very, very excited about this. It's successor time. It's like emoción, choro de la emoción. And I'm as excited as the pen here that is twerking. So this gift changed my life, so it's amazing. And first, I'm your host. This is a bit of my ISEC experience. So first, I was an EP in ISEC in Algeria. It was the best experience of my life by far. It was in 2014, in summer 2014. Then I was LCVP oGV in ISEC in Bellaterra in Spain for the term 2015. And then I was ECV oGV in ISEC in Colombia. It was a very challenging experience, but I learned a lot. Then I was MCVP CX in ISEC in Switzerland. Amazing. If someone is interested about knowing more about it, I'm super open to talk about it. And then I'm now in my current position of ISEC in Costa Rica that I am in the MCVP oGV. Okay? So what I'm going to talk with you is going to be first a bit of history, then the MC contents and the next steps that I'm thinking for this semester, and in general what I think should be done for ISEC in Costa Rica, especially in oGV. So, as you know, if I have seen further than others, it's by standing up on the shoulders of giants. So this is because something I really like about ISEC is that the possibility of continuity and legacy. So I'm very, very excited that I will have more and more interested in my position right now in ISEC in Costa Rica, and we have done a lot. But still, let's say the product is not in our favor, so we have been having some problems with the product in the last years, in the behaviors that you're going to see after. One second, have some technical problems. Yeah, so what you're going to see right now is that, for example, we're going to talk about the last 2 years. So in the MC switch was the MC 1516, and the MCP was Fabi, and they did 143 approvals in the peak of August, January, okay, the fish peak. And then was Diego, that was the 140 approvals and 133 realizations. As you can see, it was decreasing in 2% in the approvals and 0% in the realization. So there was not growth or decreasing, it was the same. But then you can see here that in the last 50, we had a big decreasing. So in approvals, is 28% less. And in realization, sorry, there's a mistake, it's realizations there, is 19% realizations, okay? So we had last peak 140, this peak we have 101 approvals, and for realizations we had 37, sorry, and then now we had for the 31st of January, then 111 realizations, okay? So, you have more or less a very important idea about the oGV role in Costa Rica. So we have a big responsibility about the financial sustainability of the entity. So right now, oGV is the source, pretty much, so the biggest source of income of the entity, and that means a lot of responsibility, but also a lot of excitement, because we have a lot of responsibility, so we have to do a lot of things for that. So we have to work a lot with innovation and try to grow the product as much as possible. And then we have a big impact on the Costa Rican youth. So as you know, Costa Rica is a Central American country, and we can really give the Costa Rican youth an opportunity to develop a lot of let's say skills, abilities, cultural awareness, a lot of things with the oGV program, and also because it's very accessible, financially talking for the people, and also because we have a big offer for them, so they can take the best out of this experience. Okay. Then the main synergies that we have right now, and also the strategies that we always do, is, for example, in finance, we have the product packaging that right now is in Costa Rica. We don't have the sources for talking about maybe flight tickets, or let's say put the product very, very juicy for the customers. But still, we're working with the insurance that till this semester was Mafre, and for next semester is going to be Planedasis. But the idea is to provide to these customers not only the possibility to go in abroad, but also the possibility to go with a good insurance that can help them if anything happens there. Okay. Also, it's going to be a price that is much less than if they buy the insurance out of the ISEC promotion, let's say. Then with IGV, we have the local volunteer conversion. So this is an idea that we really want to do this semester, because the semester that is coming, because till now has been a bit difficult to, also because local volunteer is quite new, but we really want to make this conversion. The people that was part of the projects in IGV also take the responsibility and say, okay, so I saw what ISEC can do here locally, so I want to do something like that outside, so abroad. And this is a very close synergy, but also in general, let's say the GV should be closer. Okay, so that's something that Thales, that for sure you saw. If you're interested in IGV, you could see his live that he did yesterday about IGV. But in general, what the idea is that GV works GV works much more closer. Okay, because in general we're talking about the same product, and if we can grow in one part of the product, we can also grow in the other one. Then with PM, the people management part, especially is IXP, is to how we can give to our members the possibility to go abroad in the best conditions ever. So with the cooperation, the specific price, and all these things. So it's a very close synergy that we do also. And then our biggest and most important synergy is UR, because we cannot have exchanges if we don't have people that is interested in that. So we have this university relations that works in general, the university support that the University in Costa Rica can give to us, and then the campaign that we create together. That is also involved the XD, that we create all the part of digital marketing. Okay, so this part of the attraction, and also a bit of consideration. We also need this university support, for example, in the part of having rooms for having consultancy spaces, or in general just to have this university support throughout the whole experience of the students, and then having the experience abroad. This can include also maybe some, how do you say that, becas? That the university pay a bit of money, so the people that wants to go abroad can do it easily. And then I wanted to show you a bit of the product tendency that we have right now, because you can see here that since the 2014 we are decreasing in the product. So you can see that, for example, in the 2014 we have 28 oGVs, but then so it meant in that moment 52% of the exchanges. But then also the things that we have been growing a lot in general, like in the pack of the exchanges, also because IGV was growing a lot. We include IGE, so in the past years we put a lot of products, let's say, but oGV is not having a bigger contribution, let's say. So for example, you can see here the percentage of 42, and then 21, and now the 28.4. And then you can see down you can also see for the first time the name of the LCs. We have UCR, Tech, Una, y Occidente. Occidente is a new LC that started this year. And you can see there that the product haven't been like very stable in the LCs as the bigger contribution. For example, in 2013, the biggest contributor for oGV was Tech. Then it was Una in 2014. In 2015 was UCR. That stayed like that till today. That when in 2016 they had the biggest peak, and when they had more results in the whole when the whole history of ice in Costa Rica. So well, with this in general, what you can see is that the product is decreasing, and we need to do a tipping point where we can say, okay, so we need to change things, or like take the decision to change this so oGV start increasing again, start growing again, sorry. So first, you're going to have here a general timeline. Here you can see, for example, that our biggest peak for approval is happening in April and May. Also a bit in June, we were trying to move the timeline a bit because June should be already a month for realizations and not approvals. Okay, so then we have also that will be for the fruit peak, and then for the fish peak, we're talking about October, November as the biggest, well, as the highest month for approvals also. So this orange quarter here. Then we have for realizations, we have especially in December, January, and a bit of February. And for realizations in fruit peak, we have June, July, and a bit of August. Okay. Something that is very important that you know. Well, I'm going to do after. Sorry, it's okay. And then for opens, we have the February, March when we do the attraction campaign, and then we have August, September, and a bit of October for the fish pick. Okay, also for attraction campaign. About complete is happening especially well in the months after the realization, January, February, and March. And as you can see, well, January, February, and March for the fish pick, and then July, August, September for the fruit pick. As you can see, there are a lot of things to do at the same time. For example, right now we are entering in February, that we have complete peak, we have the most important preparation for the attraction, and we're still maybe sending some people abroad, but just a few. And we have to prepare all of our processes, and in general, just prepare our members because they're also entering right now new members for delivering the best peak of approvals, realizations, and complete. And then the M0, so the general overview they should have is also general for the operations that we have. So it's network, international relations, and product development. Okay, this is the three main things that we have to do. And in product development, we can enter on this part of innovation. So, one second here, I prefer, well, let's talk first about this. So our biggest peak, as I say, is fish peak. It's very important. It's when our well, members and in general customer have the biggest amount of holidays. So they're to have around 2.5 3 months of holidays. And it's when they are more, let's say, comfortable to go abroad. Because what happened in fruit peak is that the timeline is quite tight, because we have no more than 5 weeks. So we have around 4 or 5 weeks. So when the people wants to go abroad in this peak, is because they're deciding to not going to classes for 1 week at least. So there are cases. So there have been a lot of realization in fruit peak, but definitely our biggest peak is fish peak. Okay. We have 2 different university timelines, for example, right? So, and they are like this. So Tech and Una have one timeline, and then Occidental and CR have another timeline. Sorry about the wine. And what happened is that, so we have to be very aware of this. So when we are creating the campaigns and even the realization peaks and even OPSs and all this, we have to be aware of these 2 timelines, okay? Then about a year in the 17.2, that would mean the fish peak of that just passed, we were creating a lot of cooperations. We want to try different things. So first we had the Brazil, Colombia, Mexico, Guatemala, Nicaragua, being Brazil and Colombia our biggest cooperations. And Guatemala, Nicaragua, Mexico, we decreased a lot with, well, actually we decreased with everyone but Guatemala. But with Mexico was very worrying, the decreasing that we had. It was so bad, let's say, that surprisingly we grew a lot with Europe, and we even sent more people to Europe than to Mexico. We sent 9 people to Europe and 7 people to Mexico. So this is something that definitely needs to be analyzed. I'm analyzing it already, and I have some good insights about it. And it's just, so the two things that I think we should do is still work a lot with Mexico, and I'm going to say after, in Mexico is our main cooperation for this peak, with Brazil and Colombia, having with the three of them the 80% of realizations for this peak. But still, we have to listen to our market and understand why they want to go so much to Europe, and start also to at least have the search tools and have some conversation with people in Europe, so we can send these people that is interested in Europe to Europe if they want to, because then this is also a very good experience that I can have, and we can grow a lot in that space too. About complete, we have we till now, to the 31st of January, we had 69 finished, and complete we had 19, and that would mean the 28% of conversion rate. That is can definitely improve because our goal is 70. But right now we're in complete peak. So I really am very hopeful that for the end of this month and also the beginning of the next one, we're going to have much more completes. Okay. And one good thing would be that the process time is improving a lot. That this peak we grew in the first part of the process time. That would be from so till they are accepted, almost to 6 days, and then between accepted and approval is almost 12 days. That is not the best because our process time, even regionally, the goal is 10 days, and we are going to work for that. But still, we are great, so we are getting better. Okay. Then about the achievement, so having achievement in general, just the routine and what an MCVP oGV should do during the term is to have a BOVP routine. So having to mention that in Costa Rica we have 4 LCs that make it easier to have closer relationship with the LCs. Okay, so the BOVP routine is very important. Which type of communication you do with your VPs, how many meetings do you have? If you cannot have a meeting, how you can compensate that? Also, having an educational timeline, which are the resources that you can provide to your members and VPs to educate them. There can be conferences, webinars, materials, all these. It's very important to have a data-driven mindset. So even myself, I learned a lot about data during this semester. And that's something that definitely needs to be done by everyone. Okay, so especially in operations, we need to work with data. It's a must. So that's a culture and something that if you are planning to apply for oGV, you need to have that as your learnings before coming here and even doing here, but come with a very open mind to data and be very data driven for having all your strategies and even activities. And then of course the NST management. So it's very, very important. They are the big part of your team because also, for example, the VPs, they have the LCP, but then it's your team that you have to deliver the team standards and everything, and they can be definitely a big part of your experience and also provide them the best experience possible. Then for international relations, so it's very important to have so before we were working with MC to LC corporations, but I decided to change that to LC to LC corporations. But still, like MC to LC corporation needs to be strong. Like they need to be conversation about which type of corporations you want to do, which type of pro we have to have, how many, which is the goal for approvals, for conversion rate, for process time that we want to establish. So it has to be a very strong MC to MC corporation. But then it's very important that we educate the members, especially the LCVPs, to establish their LC to LC cooperation, that they can have also the goals for approvals, to have a routine, the communication with them. So because that will also accelerate the process time, and of course will deliver a better, the best experience for our customers. Okay. And then the national strategies and education is very important in general. For example, I just went to the operational summit in Bogota, and it's very important to how we can downscale all this knowledge that we receive in this type of summits, and so the VPs are best prepared possible for delivering the fruit peak. And in general, just having this sub-region that in this case will be Central America, and also regional engagement with everyone. Okay. Then for the product, it's very important. So before we try to link. So we did it last year. So in the MC 16-17, it worked very well, but then there were some problems with the web page, website in general. So we needed to stop having this link between having a Podio form in the page that will automatically do two profiles in Expa, so one in Expa and one in Podio. It's not working anymore, so right now we're going to do it manually. So we have people entering in Expa, and then we have So the members that need to have a routine to put that people in Podio so we can do the whole follow-up for the customer. Okay, so do it as fast as possible. In the Podio, we also have the synergies, so how we can track the IXP, how we can track the finance, how can we all have the payments, contracts, and everything that we need, the information of the EP. And then we have the Vida Pura Vida brand, so that will be more for the MC, but also we have the Pura Vida ambassadors that Christian was talking before. And that will be the synergies at MC level and guarantee the local level synergies, because what we could also see is that it's very important. So to have the MC synergy, for example, me with Ariana, that is the UR, but then if we don't know how to downscale that to the LCs, it doesn't make any sense. Then the current challenges will be, especially for the network, will be the LCVP's knowledge about processes. So there is not the same level that the LCVPs are prepared to deliver the peak. So that's something I'm going to work a lot during the semester. Then the conference engagements, we need more people going to conferences because it's a very important touch point for education, engagement, connection. Everything that we talk about ISEC is the conferences are the best touch point for that. And right now we don't have the best conference engagement from the membership. Then we don't have enough talent capacity. We're talking that right now Costa Rica is having around a productivity of 5 that you would say, whoa, it's amazing. But no, it's not amazing. So it's good, but that doesn't mean anything. So we have members that are working a lot and then they're leaving after the peak, and that's not what we want. We want an engagement with the area to understand how cool it is to be in oGV, the impact that we can actually deliver with this product. And then we also have some issues with team management knowledge. It's very important to educate the VPs in how to manage their team, how to take the best out of the potential. So there's a lot of things to work, especially in this aspect. We have amazing members, but none of them are taking the best out of the experience, or even and are not taking the best out of their capabilities. Well, I say that multi-focus understanding that, as I said before, we have some in the timeline. If we are not very clear in the timeline, we have so many things to do at the same time. So of course, things happening like preparing the campaign right now and being aware of the complete peak, it happens. So that's why it's very important to understand, okay, so we have this multi-focus, we need to work properly for that. And that's a problem we have right now, that the members are just focusing on one thing and are not very focused properly. So they need to understand how to focus in different things that are equally important in the same moment. A structural understanding and strategy, how we can actually have the best team, how they can complement each other, which role have each members in the team. That's also a challenge that we have right now. IR knowledge is very important, especially because they are now starting to work with LC to LC corporations. So it's very important to keep the routine, to keep how we can not only create, but also maintain and keep for the next generation the LC to LC corporation that we're doing right now, how we can deliver the best way, the standards that we have to deliver, so we can have the best experience for our customer, also to have the complete. Also, the synergy at a local level is another problem. As I said, it doesn't make sense to have only good synergy at MC level, because if we don't know how to educate the members how to have it at local level, it doesn't make any sense. So that was another problem that we have. And in general, tool management. So one thing that happens a lot is, well, the MC members, we want to have everything under control as much as possible, and we create tools, but definitely it's not a behavior that the LCs like to do. So they don't like to fill that many tools, and normally they're not updated, or they don't understand the importance of this. So that's another of our current challenges. About international relations, so the supply and demand is diversification. So right now what we have is that the last peak, so Fish Peak 17, we had these main corporations, let's say Brazil, Colombia, Mexico, Guatemala, and Nicaragua, and Italy a bit also. That at the end was one of the most important ones, because we sent more people to Italy than into Mexico, as I said. But then we also tried to have some pilots, that it was Argentina, Bolivia, Ecuador, and Peru. But it was not very good to have that many, because there was not a lot of focus. So that's why right now, so what we're going to do this peak, for first peak, is that we're going to have 3 main corporations, and it's going to be the 80% of our realization. That is going to be Mexico, Colombia, and Brazil, and that's the LCTS cooperation that my LCPPs are doing right now and finishing to consolidating. And the idea is to have these very great basics to also have so we can after say, okay, we can try another pilots. But for the rest, for now, it's going to be the 80% with these 3 countries. Conversion rates, especially between open apply, so we have quite a lot of people going into the platform, but then we have the problem that they don't apply. There are three maybe reasons why. They don't feel very comfortable with the organization. We don't have that many much credibility. Also because people try to, so cultural talking, because try to leave things to the last moment, so that gives us a bit of misunderstanding with them. Also, we have some situations that people don't have the money, so they leave also for the last moment when they can have the money. So now we have a lot of reasons why the conversion rate between open and apply is not going very well. Also because the follow-up of our members is not the best, so we need to work a lot of that on that. Sorry. And as I said, local IR tracking and planning. These LC2LC corporations that are going to start, well, starting last semester, but a bit in the middle. It was before MC2LC. So this semester is going to be very LC2LC corporation. So how we're going to make this work properly and very well, so we can have the results that we want. Project knowledge in general, just how they know. So the members that are selling, so in general, the sales culture is not the best. So let's say that the selling capabilities are not very well. So are not very good right now. So that, for example, that each member of oGV in Costa Rica know exactly which are the projects of the corporation they're working with. Is not the majority of them, and if they know, they don't know all the specifications. So that's how to sell the projects that they're cooperating with. Approve and red decrease. Well, yeah. So only with Guatemala didn't happen. We had big growth with Guatemala, but for the rest we had a big decreasing, okay, of our corporations. So it's something we need to think what happened. Why is this supply and demand happening like that? And yeah, all that. The product, so the value delivery management tool. So we wanted to have a value delivery tool with a corporation. It didn't work because they were not filled, so it was a big problem. There was some challenges. So in general, we had good experiences. We had some cases, but in general, was everything solved. But still, we need to have a better tracking of the experience of our EP. Sorry. As location I said before, the ECB is not working very close to oGV right now, and that's not good at all, because it's not only for the firefighting, the cases, the quality cases that we can have, but also it could be very important to have people in the ECB educating the members about the fire preventing. That will be all the webinars about how we can prevent a case, how we can track better our standards, and all these things. So that's why it's very important to have this type of education from ECB. Complete is very important. Challenge right now because we're starting on that, and there's not this culture of let's go for the complete. It's more let's go for the proof, and then remember that we have to go for complete. So it's very important to do a lot of spotlight on complete. Showcasing material deficit, so we don't have that many material. We're working on having more, but we have to start, for example, doing some interviews to the people that is coming and having a good experience to showcase. And so there's an interest in going abroad, and even having their doubts, because okay, I go because actually there is some testimony that say that it's a very good experience for me too. And lead nurturing for stakeholders, and we have a huge gap here. So lead nurturing is going something that I think Chris talked about in his chat, but we need to work on this synergy, how we can nurture our customers, especially at the beginning in the attraction phase. Product value. So next steps. Well, we need to be working a lot in the next now this peak, and the next MC, the 1819. So how to work a lot in the value proposition of the product. Why the members in Costa Rica want to be part of oGV. It's very, very important to create a very strong culture and understanding about the product, the importance of its existence in Costa Rica. So it's something I need to work a lot with my VOVP. That will be my VPs this semester. And then I need a person that come after me to work a lot on that too. The capacity to have more members in oGV, more educated members and engaged members. So something very important. In general, network routine. So the work routine right now is not the best. We have members that work a lot and members that don't work anything. So we need to have a specific routine per week that the VPs need to track, so they can have all the members in the same page and having the results because of let's say the steps that they're following day by day. The sales enhancement, as I said before, there's not a very strong culture of sales in oGV, and we need to work on that. Work a lot in the IR at local level, in the C2C corporation, how they can be very autonomous in that and be the best in IR as possible. And then customer-centric strategies all the time. So every time that we're thinking about the customer, we need to very focus on that, and all our processes and customer flow and process time and conversion, thinking about the customer. Okay, because right now I think that we're doing our best, but we can still do more and think more, even more and more in customers. So now we're going to go to questions. So if you have any question, please say it. I hope you like the chat. I take half an hour, so I hope it's very clear. Someone want to say anything? I will wait for 1 minute, and then we can, yeah, I will maybe close the chat. Anyways, so if you want to know more, if you're thinking about applying for oGV, if you're having more questions, you can approach me. First, I wanted to do the chat, so now I'm going to be much more responsive to the people that is approaching me, because I think it was very important to have the chat so you can see it, if you can see all the questions that you can have right now. And I have some materials that I can share with you if you want to have more awareness about oGV in Costa Rica. I have some materials that can be very useful for you. Some questions? Okay, guys, so it's okay. If no one wants to have some questions, it's okay. You can approach me after, and we can have some chats. And even if you want to, for example, if you couldn't have a chat, but you would like to send me some questions through email, I can do that, and then I can even answer you through voice notes. That's going to be faster. So yeah, that will be everything. So I will just put my camera to say bye. Bye. Take care, and I'll be waiting for your questions. Bye.